A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The year was 1977 and the galaxy was theatre number 1 at the Dublin Empire. I sat fixated betwixt my mother and Auntie June. 87 minutes later, with the Rebel Alliance victorious and the threat of the dark side somewhat diminished, I wept uncontrollably. Not tears of pain, like the time Tom Malin took a cooker ignition and used it to pass an electrical current through my testicles midway through home economics. Nor were these tears of confusion, like the time I caught my mother and Auntie June locked in a passionate lesbian embrace. No, these were tears of joy. For the purposes of this show, I revisited Star Wars and I wept again, for I realised that George Lucas, like my mother and Auntie June, had deceived me. Let's take a closer look at Star Wars. The young orphan Skywalker, groomed and befriended by the much older Obi-Wan Kenobi, before being passed over to an ancient, powerful and disfigured deviant. No, not Jonathan King, but Yoda, an 800-year-old bachelor who shunned the company of women, preferring to live alone in the woods, where he ran a finishing school for young male Jedi. George Lucas told us that Yoda was the master of all Jedi, but I can sum him up in one word: nonce. And what for Skywalker's nemesis, Lord Vader, the stereotypical black ghetto gangster gang-banging his way across the universe? Star Wars, more like race wars. Is it any wonder Gary Wilmot turned down the role? This racist and outdated characterisation would simply not be tolerated today. We only have to think of the many modern-day blockbusters that owe their success to an entirely all-black cast. Classics such as C-3PO, an android, gold, gay, loud and proud. Fair play to you, Lucas. R2-D2, a spastic trapped in a motorised dustbin. Shame on you, Lucas. This wasn't the only example of George Lucas exploiting the disabled. We have to look no further than Jabba the Hutt, clearly obese, housebound, and suffering from a mental illness. It's no wonder he feasted on toads. Han Solo, bounty hunter. But what was his bounty, and where did he hunt for it? I guess we'll never know. What we do know, though, is Han's openly practiced bestiality. As any visitor to the Millennium Falcon would testify, when the Chewbacca cried, "Ah!" it wasn't merely a rabble-rousing call to arms, but rather that Hans had unexpectedly penetrated him, dry. Again. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the classic, yet somewhat disturbing, Star Wars.